Hey guys, I'm John Ritzar from WATCHSPEC.com. I stepped away from the channel a little bit there as I moved into this new house, but I'm excited to be back and I'm excited to talk to you today about the Seiko Presage Cocktail Time. This video will highlight the key points of this watch, but over at WATCHSPEC.com I will have the full detail in my written article, so I will leave a link to that in the notes below. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel and sign up for notifications so you can catch all my videos when they release. And with that, let's get started. Let's start with a model overview. The Seiko Cocktail Time line was first introduced to the Japanese market only back in 2010, and the design was in collaboration with famous bartender Shinobu Ishigaki of the Ishinohana Bar that is in the Shibuya district of Tokyo, Japan. The result was the beautiful and classic Cocktail Time that quickly grew in popularity. This popularity resulted in the 2016 Baselworld international launch of the Seiko Presage line, that line including the Cocktail Time. Today, the Cocktail Time is a true favorite in many ways among Seiko fans, and this SSA 359 version adds the open heart exhibition window to the front of the dial for that added intrigue and excitement. Let's talk style. Style is the element of this watch that makes it so popular, so let's take a close look at that. We have a round case with a 40.5 millimeter diameter, definitely within the acceptable range for a dress watch, but I would say it's more towards the upper end of that spectrum. Thickness comes in at 11.8 millimeters, very reasonable for sliding under the cuff. Lug-to-lug height on this is set at 47.5 millimeters, and the lug width for the band is set at an appropriate 20 millimeters. These lugs are a nice smooth extension off the case and have no drilled holes for the spring bar access to keep that clean look. The screw-down case back contains an exhibition glass to display the ticking movement inside. Very nice, especially with that gold rotor. The dial is the best part of this watch. It has a dressy and sophisticated feel, but it also oozes that cool that you can relate to a fun and classy cocktail bar, which is the entire intent behind its design. The glossy dial displays the alternating black and gray radial stripes that provide such a unique look. And this SSA 359 version adds that exciting open heart window to the front of the dial that showcases the mesmerizing beat of the automatic movement, and it's beautiful to boot. The dial is accented so well by the hour markers and hour and minute hands, which apply that classy three-dimensional doffing style with the polished silver finish to easily catch the eye and simply glow in the light. They're just stunning. The second hand is a thin stick shape to stay out of the spotlight, but does have a neat hollow diamond counterbalance. The minute and second markers are also reserved, printed around the outside of the dial in white. The Seiko emblem is applied below 12 o'clock, and this is another stunning feature being raised off the dial with that polished silver finish. This too catches the light beautifully and is yet another fun aspect of this watch. Other markings are at 6 o'clock with Presage Automatic printed in white, as well as Made in Japan and the movement reference number in very small text at the very bottom of the dial. The glass applied is Seiko's own Hardlex crystal in a domed shape. The edge of the glass is nearly seamless with the fixed polished stainless steel bezel, and I'm impressed with the clarity of this glass. I was expecting distortion with that dome shape, but it's clear as can be. The downside to the look of the Hardlex is the fact that it's a smudge magnet, so you'll be wiping this regularly to keep it clean. The crown is a bit on the large side for a dress watch, but I really like it. The shape flares larger as it moves away from the case, a real look of elegance in my opinion. A Seiko S is etched into the outer polished surface, and the sharp teeth around the side round out a great look. The 20 millimeter band is a two-piece black alligator leather with black stitching. Very classic look, but the clasp is a bit unique, being a push-button deployment clasp. You wouldn't expect this to affect the style, but it does, as the exposed end of the leather faces towards the body, which is opposite of a traditional buckle style clasp, which points it away from the body. The style of the Seiko Presage Cocktail Time is nearly perfect with only minor issues with the Hardlex glass and leather band. This style has been so successful for Seiko that they've actually been increasing the depth of this Cocktail Time line by adding more variants like this open heart version, as well as a power reserve, date subdial version as well. The feel of this watch allows it to operate in different settings. It's sophisticated enough you could dress it formally, but it's also got that fun aspect that allows you to dress it down to even a business casual level. But with this amazing style, it's no wonder why this has become such a cult classic. Let's move to comfort. This is a very comfortable watch. Being a dress watch, it's got a reasonable diameter and thickness, which helps with that comfort. All the edges around the case are rounded and very smooth. It's got that dome glass, which allows that case to easily slide under the cuff. The leather band is a little bit of a different story. It's not a major issue, but the strap's open end pointing towards the body has a tendency to catch the cuff a bit easier than it should. Aside from that, the leather strap is very comfortable. It has 1/4 inch adjustment intervals for wrists spanning from 5 5/8 inches up to 7.5 inches, and it's thin to allow it to contour around the wrist perfectly. The weight measures in at only 2.5 ounces or 71 grams, and that's with the strap. That's equivalent to about 12 US quarters, very lightweight. The only other item to mention here is the crown. While it is a little bit on the larger side for a dress watch and you may feel it when you bend the wrist, I personally would take the slight influence on comfort in order to realize that style benefit that you get from the crown. It's not perfect, but overall, this watch is quite comfortable. Okay, let's talk movement and accuracy. The Cocktail Time applies the Seiko 4R38 in-house Japanese automatic movement. Let's hit the key points of this. This has a Seiko in-house Japanese movement, as I mentioned. I truly admire and respect watch brands that develop and manufacture their own movements. The entire Presage line integrates 3 of Seiko's best technological improvements in mechanical movements. First is the Magic Lever dual direction automatic winding system. Number 2 is the Seiko developed Spron alloys used for the springs that improve the durability, virtually making these components unbreakable. And third is that Dia-Shock protection system that protects the movement and the movement's accuracy from detrimental shocks. This caliber has 24 joules, it operates at 6 beats per second, has a 41-hour power reserve. Accuracy is not officially disclosed by Seiko, but I estimate that you would see accuracy within plus or minus 15 seconds per day. This does have a magnetic resistance specification of 60 Gauss. Regulation is possible with this. It's hackable. Hand winding is available. This is just one impressive movement for the price point of this watch. Let's move to usability. On a dress watch, usability usually takes a back seat to style and simplicity, but the Cocktail Time, however, balances style and usability very well. The hour markers and hands jump out at you with the faceted Dauphine shape and polished finish, so reading the time at a glance is no problem whatsoever. The second hand will require a bit more focus due to its reserved stick shape, but again, this is no problem. The precision in these markers is way more than needed for a dress watch, with major tick at every 1 minute or second, and minor ticks break each second into 6 parts. The hand extension is sufficient to know exactly the hour, minute, and second to which each hand points. There's no date complication to this watch, not an issue for a formal use piece, but something to consider for those looking for a daily wear professional watch. The crown has amazing usability with its generous size and teeth. This is not a screw down crown, so manual wind is very quick at the crown's full in position. With no date complication, there's only one other position of the crown, which is full out for changing the time. Because there's no date complication, there is no concern for changing the time between the hours of 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. Water resistance on this watch is rated to 5 bar or 50 meters, so no concern for daily wear, but just don't take it in the shower or take it swimming. There is no lume applied on this dial, which is actually my preference for a dress watch. The glass being domed, it will contact objects or surfaces. With this being the scratch-resistant Hardlex, it will not possess the durability of the higher quality and more expensive sapphire crystal, just something to consider. Finally, the band. The leather itself seems to lack some quality just based on feel. Maybe it's the thickness, but it just feels like it may not last the test of time against cracking. However, the push button deployment clasp is a huge positive for usability. Putting this watch on and taking it off is so much easier and faster than a traditional buckle style clasp. It also saves on the amount that you will bend the leather, so this may offset that quality issue that I just mentioned. Overall, I would say the usability of the Cocktail Time is very strong for being a dress watch. Let's end with value and verdict. There are a surplus of positives that we've talked about in this video. Most notably for me is the high quality movement that's included with the hacking, the hand wind, Dia-Shock, special alloys for the durability. I really respect that Seiko develops their own in-house movements. This includes the exhibition window on the front of the dial. Again, it just adds that excitement. You could actually visualize that heartbeat of what an automatic movement really is. And finally, the style, just the undeniably interesting and highly praised style that you get with this, with those radial stripes, that just makes it such a favorite. However, the watch is not perfect. It's important to note the hard like stone glass, the open end of the band points towards the body, and the just general quality feel of the leather itself. Now, you can find this watch for about $250. At that price, no watch is going to be perfect. Personally, I would have rather paid more money to get a sapphire crystal and a higher quality strap, but at this price, for all the great content that you get, everything I've mentioned with the style and the movement, this really is a fantastic value. It's very impressive in my opinion. If you are interested in this watch, either for yourself or as a gift, I will leave a product link in the notes below. If you have any questions, you can reach me at my website, WATCHSPEC.com, or you could just leave a comment below. Please let me know your opinions of this watch also in the comments below. I love hearing what you guys think. Please give this video a like if you found it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and sign up for notifications so you can catch all my future releases. And guys, with that, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.